We are just 10 days away from kickoff for the Red Raiders in 2024, and in today's video, we'll discuss the latest practice and fall camp standouts, including a potential edge gym developing, according to Joey McGuire, that and the O-line taking shape. Who does it sound like is going to be the starting five for the Red Raiders against the Wildcats on August 31st? That and much more in today's video. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast, and listen, we're 10 days away, people. I'm excited. You're excited. Your family's excited. Your friends are excited, unless you have Aggie friends, which, again, we all don't make great decisions in life, but we don't judge others for their bad decisions like that. But if you're a Texas Tech fan, we are 10 days away from kickoff, and I know you're excited about the 2024 season. All I want you to do is simply like the video and show me that you're excited because, hey, we're going to have daily videos leading up to kickoff for you. And tomorrow on Thursday, August 22nd, we'll have the man himself back. Lyle Leong Jr. will be back on the podcast. So if you were excited about that and just Texas Tech football in general, like the video. All right, let's jump right into this because there's a lot to discuss. And these are standouts from Tuesday, August 20th practice, according to Joey McGuire. We'll talk about some of these guys ad nauseum later on, and I'll be honest with you, kind of going all over the place in today's video. I'm not just doing offense first. I'm not just doing defense. I'm not just doing special teams. I'm going all over the place, so stay with me, but there's valuable information in here. In terms of the standouts from Tuesday's practice, you got Joseph Adedrie, the edge, who is actually back from an ankle injury that he sustained. He practiced on Tuesday. You've got De'Braylyn Carroll still standing out. He's been one about the, really most talked about interior defensive lineman for the Red Raiders. The transfer from Rice, he has had a good fall camp and had a great day on Tuesday. Jacob Rodriguez, no surprise there. And speaking of no surprise, Vinny Scuiry at left guard. Those two are going to be really linchpins for their respective sides of the football for the Red Raider. Jacob Rodriguez, obviously the starting linebacker for Texas Tech, and Vinny Scuiry at left guard. You've also got the best wide receiver on the football team for Texas Tech, in my opinion, in Josh Kelly standing out on Tuesday. And then we mentioned in a previous video here on the channel that tight end is arguably the deepest position, 1 through 3 on the depth chart. Well, that guy that's in third right now, Johncarlos Miller III, it had a great day on Tuesday. All right, in terms of Joey McGuire in the presser that he had on Tuesday after that practice, he gave a lot of great detail in terms of what happened at the scrimmage on Saturday under the lights at Jones AT&T. A lot of these guys first time to play at the Jones at night, albeit it's a scrimmage. You still want to, understand what that environment's like, right? So this is where we'll start. This is from practice, though, in terms of some of this is going to be from the scrimmage. Some of this is going to be practice. I will be sure to pinpoint which one this is from. This is from Tuesday's practice as the kicker battle does intensify. Gino Garcia actually hit a 55-yarder in team comp, which is really their ones where they actually battle it out, right? Then you had Reece, who hit a 43-yarder, according to Joey McGuire. He keeps making a point of emphasis, does McGuire, not only from a scrimmage perspective, but a practice perspective, how deep this roster is. And it feels like it's more so on the offensive side or defensive side of the football, The defense seems really, really deep, specifically the linebackers, the D-line, and the secondary. I know I just named basically everything outside of edge, but we'll talk about them a little bit more. Now, Cam Dickey did not scrimmage for the Red Raiders on Saturday, but he was back at practice on Tuesday. Joey McGuire described that running back 2 spot behind Taj Brooks as a 2A, 2B between the true freshman Cam Dickey and then Cam'Ron Valdez, who you remember entered the portal for like a split second and then returned back to Texas Tech. Now, he's also mentioning the true freshman Jacoby Williams, who came in during the summertime, but he stood out in practice quite a bit, and Joey McGuire is not the only one that has said this. There's been multiple Texas Tech staffers and also people that cover the team with boots on the ground, and people that were just visiting and watching practice have told me the same thing, like, hey, what do you know about Jacoby Williams, right? Well, he's a guy described by Joey McGuire as a home run hitter, and I think that that is perfect way to describe him. It would not shock me at all if he got a play here or there, but he's going to more than likely redshirt, but I do think there is the possibility that he makes an appearance or two in some special plays that Zach Kittley can draw up. Now, He also mentioned to Joey McGuire on the offensive line that Caleb Rogers played some left tackle in the scrimmage. This is interesting because Caleb Rogers came back, at least reportedly, and now things can change in terms of where do you need a guy with that amount of experience to play inside, because that's where the NFL wanted to see him. Now, I do think we'll talk about the starting offensive line, at least the projected starting offensive line, here in just a second. But it is interesting to hear Caleb Rogers played left tackle in the scrimmage. Joey McGuire did say that he feels better, does Caleb Rogers, playing on the right side. Now, McGuire also said in terms of the offensive line, there's about 6-7 guys they feel really comfortable with, and that number could go all the way up to 9. Now, some of the guys that he's mentioned in terms of non-starters but depth that they feel good about, you've got Seals, Jackson Hughes, the South Carolina transfer. You've got Shaw, and then a true freshman in Holton Hendricks. Now, he did say, did Joey McGuire, Holton Hendricks likely isn't going to play too much as a true freshman. He was a guy that did not go through spring camp. He actually came in after the spring semester of high school and has been there since the summertime, has Holton Hendricks. But he has stood out, and he has been playing left guard, according to Joey McGuire. That sounds like, if everyone is healthy, in my opinion, the offensive line will be this. But before we get to the offensive line and the projected starting offensive line, I want to tell you about my friends over at Home Field Apparel. Again, you can save 15% off your entire purchase at Home Field Apparel when you use the promo code BACK212. Again, that promo code is BACK212 for you to get your new favorite Texas Tech shirt. I don't know if you noticed in today's video, I'm actually rocking a Texas Tech Home Field Apparel shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts. I wear it twice a week. Don't tell my wife. I promise I do wash it. But they have a lot of great vintage apparel. That 1976 long sleeve, yeah, that's coming to me right here. Then we've also got the Will Rogers shirt. And then a red hoodie that actually looks good. Not very many companies have that, but Home Field Apparel does. And long live the Matadors. Head on over to homefieldapparel.com and get your new favorite Texas Tech vintage t-shirt, hoodie, socks, hat, everything in between, and save 15% off when you use the promo code BACK212. Again, save 15% off your entire purchase over on homefieldapparel.com when you use the promo code BACK212. All right. Listen, this shirt's pretty sick. I'm not going to lie about it, as half of my head disappears. Now, the starting offensive line in terms of what you get from Joey McGuire trying to read the tea leaves, and I will admit, this is trying to read the tea leaves, but it sounds like this would be the starting offensive line for the Red Raiders against Abilene Christian if everyone is healthy, and it sounds like that's the direction we're headed. We'll start at right tackle, Ty Buchanan. Right guard, Caleb Rogers. At center, Sheridan Wilson. At left guard, Vinny Scuiry. We mentioned him already. And at left tackle, I think it's going to be Sterling Porche. Now, that leaves Davon Carter, the Memphis transfer, kind of as that swing interior lineman for Texas Tech. Those are the 6 core guys they feel really good about. Now, Dalton Merriman is in there as well as the 7th, it sounds like, according to Joey McGuire. Now, it sounds like there could be a battle still going on at left tackle, but now that Porche is back and healthy, it sounds like they feel a little bit more comfortable with him at left tackle. Things can change moving up to kickoff, but that's where it stands right now. Again, left to right, Porche, Scuiry, Wilson, Rogers, and Buchanan. That sounds like it's going to be, in the optimal world, the starting 5 for the offensive line for Texas Tech. Now, I mentioned, and you saw it in the thumbnail, the gym. If you're playing college football 25, I hope you like that gym there on the thumbnail. But Joey McGuire called 2 players, one on offense and one on defense, in his presser on Tuesday, gyms. One for, obviously, the offense and the defense. The offense is Dre McCray. I think a lot of people are undervaluing Dre McCray, just thinking, oh, he's a special teams guy in terms of the kick returning. No, I think he's going to be much more valuable this year with wide receivers that are better around him. He's never going to be that lead guy, in my opinion. But in terms of his skill set, he is absolutely perfect to be around guys like Micah Hudson, Josh Kelly, Caleb Payday Douglas. You've also got guys like Jalen Conyers, Mason Tharp, Dre McCray, and I didn't even mention Coy Aiken in there, but Dre McCray is that really nice chess piece that you can get creative with if you're Zach Kitley. Now, on defense, it's Harvey Dyson, and he was mentioned as a gem in the edge group, and they actually mentioned that if you go down to the edge rushers and they were to go out for the first snap of the defensive series, who would start at edge? Right now today, Joey McGuire said it would be Amir Washington. Remember, he had a huge bowl game last year against Cal, And then Harvey Dyson would be starting opposite of him. I thought that that was super interesting. And McGuire went into the fact that typically these edge and offensive line guys take a little bit longer to develop, but year 3 is the year that you see not only offensive linemen, but edge rushers really take that leap. Well, it's Harvey Dyson's 3rd year at Texas Tech. I expect him to take a leap. I don't know what that leap looks like. I'm not expecting, him to go out there and have double-digit sacks or anything, but I do think it is a very positive note for Texas Tech that they feel comfortable with 4 or 5 of these guys on the edge right now. Now, when it comes to punt returning and kick returning, it sounds like Josh Kelly is actually the leader, according to Joey McGuire, for punt returns. Micah Hudson's also in the mix. Trey McCray is also in the mix, and then Jordan Brown. But when it comes to kickoffs, we know who's going to be returning kickoffs when he is healthy, and that is Trey McCray. Now, all 6 of Ledette, Carroll, and Banks are the 3 playing at the highest level in terms of the interior defensive linemen that we've heard. And I mentioned all 6 right there. The others mentioned by Joey McGuire are Hanson, the transfer from Nevada. Then you've got Trayvon McAlpin. And then you've also got Jaden Cofield, the guy that's had maybe the most consistent camp with the highest flashes for Texas Tech, but a guy that is still a work in progress and a guy that I think is going to make an impact for the Red Raiders this season in the interior of the defensive line. To wrap this up, there is the star position, and this is one that I think has one of the biggest battles in camp right now, but it does sound like A.J. McCarty is a leader on the field and off the field, and that is helping him really propel himself to potentially being the starting star. Now, that's not an indication on Brendan Jordan having a bad camp. No, in fact, it's quite opposite. Brendan Jordan has had a sensational camp, according to Joey McGuire, but it's a testament what A.J. McCarty has done as a leader in his on-field play, that he is beating out Brendan Jordan, at least as it currently stands right now, 10 days away from kickoff, to be the starter at the star position and replace Rabbit there for the Red Raiders. All right, a lot of information there. I know, again, this shirt is just absolutely phenomenal. Go get yours and save 15% off with the promo code BACK212 over on homefieldapparel.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. People, we're only 10 days away from kickoff. We're going to be doing live streams here. We're going to be giving you daily updates. We're going to be having previews, recaps, breaking down really the stats and everything you need to know, including film breakdown, right here on the most subscribed to YouTube channel for Texas Tech fans. And it's 100% free. All you got to do is like the video, hit that subscribe button, and join the Back to 12 squad.